Okay. You're listening to 89.5 KOPN Columbia, and this is Call from the Grave. My name's Nick.
And I'm Gary.
And for the next 2 hours, you'll be hearing an assortment of heavy metal and black metal.
This is Override of the Overture by Dismember. You just heard Spirit Possession. That was the intro to their demo, plus the first track off of that demo, Deity of Knives and Pointed Apparitions.
And then before that, you heard the song Swords and Tequila by Riot off of their album Fire Down Under.
Got a really, really weird looking dog thing on
It's
the
like a
album
guy.
cover. It's like a dog, too.
Yeah.
He's got like, I noticed.
He's got like old man shoulders.
I only noticed when I got the record in the mail the other day that there's like red lightning bolts in his eyes.
Oh man, yeah, that's sick.
He's really vibing. And then of course at the top there we had Dismember, Override of the Overture, first track off of their classic album.
Like an ever-flowing stream.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of the best album covers.
Yeah. Just one of the best, death metal albums ever. I mean, come on.
All right, and then up next we're gonna have my cousin's band, Vukari. It's atmospheric black metal. The song Cursus, Honorum.
you feel the night take hold? Don't you start to lose control? And when the feeling comes that you can't hide, you'll turn away. Standing on the edge of time, looking for some peace of mind. Running from the hollow train.
All right.
You just heard In the Black of Night by Megaton Sword off of their 2020 album Blood Hails Steel, Steel Hails Fire. And before that, we had Sin City, Keep On Runnin'. It was from a Private Press promo record from 1990.
And then before that, there was the band Crucifixion Bell with the song Waiting the Welkin Dawn. And that was off of the full-length album Eternal Grip of the Nocturnal Empire. That one, for me at least, is like, you know, one of my highlights of the past year, I think. Like this dude has put out, you know, a ton of stuff. Sorry, we're also gonna get this on here. That is not very good. And it's like, I don't know, man. It's just like he put out like 3 or 4 splits this year and like a couple demos and like one collaboration thing, and all of it was just kind of like bunk. Except for this album. This album was like really good.
I mean, I guess you have to have a hit sometimes.
I know, right? Yeah, no, it's like he got like everything right, and then on this one, and then everything else was just like something else a little wrong, off, you know. So I apologize if you can't hear what we've been saying. Coming up, well, hold on. Right now, you're listening to the band Casiopea from Japan. Their album Mint Jams.
It's a live record.
Yeah, it's just, I mean, it's just so insane, right? I mean, holy.
It's jazz fusion. I don't really know how else to describe it, but it's just incredible.
Yeah, it's just, I mean, everything that you like would ever want from a band that's kind of like that, you know, you got it. I would argue that this is a perfect record.
Oh yeah.
In Jams. Like,
oh yeah.
Yeah, man.
It's definitely up there. Like it's like there's some absolutely unreal like bass solos and unreal drum solos, especially on this specific song. This song is Domino Line.
Yeah.
It's the third to last song on the record.
Yeah, I mean, everything that they've done is like, at the very least, pretty great. And like all of their live videos, like every single one I've ever seen, and like this album, it's just like they're perfect every time they play, man. I don't get it. It's like I wouldn't be surprised if they're like, I don't know, superhuman aliens.
Aliens, yeah.
Yeah,
aliens,
something like that. Coming up here, we'll be hearing a band called Deep Space Sorcerer. Song Outlaw Magic. It's off of their demo that came out last year. This band was supposed to put out a full length, and then COVID happened, and they couldn't practice because there's 5 of them. So maybe next year we'll get that.
And later on, we're probably gonna play some more heavy metal, some Riot City, some Savage, and we're gonna have an interview from Yellow Eyes.
Yeah, from New York. Yeah. That's going to be pretty great. I recorded that myself. I'm interviewing Will and Sam and their drummer, Mike. And also we'll have a live track from the set that they played before I interviewed them that day. That's all coming up soon.
You're listening to 89.5 KOP in Columbia. This is Call from the Grave. I am Gary.
And I am Nick, in case you missed us earlier. You are about to hear Yellow Eyes with their track Blue as Blue, recorded live in Columbia, Missouri at Firestone Baars Chapel on November 7th of this year. what's your band's name, and what was the set list you just played?
Well, the band is called Yellow Eyes. We're from New York. Let's see.
Set list.
This happened about 2 hours ago. So,
Well, we started with sample number 4.
Warmth Trance Reversal, number 1. Nutrient Painting, number 2. Sick with Bloom, number 3. Copper Stain, number 4. Jubilat, number 5.
Yeah.
Blue as Blue, number 6. And we did not play Shrillness in the Heated Grass, even though we theoretically could have played it.
Which we had in the chamber and did not fire.
That's too bad. So this was like the second of 3 shows that you're going to?
Second of 2.
Second of 2?
Well, I guess technically we did add a third show in New York, but that was while we were on the road here. So,
okay.
Kind of a last minute.
Could be considered part of that same grouping, but
But
yeah,
we
not
will be
really.
home in our own beds for like a week before that, so it
Nice.
feels different, but we won't have to rehearse, so it's like in the same grouping, I'd say.
How are the shows that you guys have played so far, like these last 2?
Fantastic. I mean,
good. It's been 2 years, and yeah, it was kind of, trying to achieve lift to get it off the ground again. But
we haven't had a record out recently or anything like that. I mean, we're always unsure of the turnout, and both were really good. I mean, it's
yeah,
just-
people coming from all over the country to see it, and life in general has changed pretty significantly since the last shows. So this felt pretty significant to us, and I'd say it couldn't have been better.
couldn't have been better. Yeah.
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 Yeah, they've been great.
Affirming, I would say.
It's our preferred way to tour, honestly. We could. It's obviously a more viable way to tour, to do 2 or 3 to 4 or more weeks. But we all have jobs for right now. It just makes more sense to do a couple one-off shows. It just makes more sense. It's more fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we try to build in plenty of free time to just kind of walk around and
Just be in a place.
feel
Eat the
feel out
food.
of place. Yeah.
Yeah.
Eat some food.
It's like we're on vacation with like a very stressful evening every night.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like we're long distance furniture movers who have to give a speech every night.
Yeah.
That's how how it feels.
Okay.
Yeah.
Musicians turn into just t-shirt salesmen.
Yeah.
I guess.
How did you guys feel about the other bands you've played with so far?
Well, I'd say tonight was like definitely a high water mark. We very much appreciate what they are doing. It's actually incredible, inspiring, and we want them to form an actual band and play with us multiple more
Unfortunately,
times.
they don't have a band name as of this recording. Maybe they will by the time this airs.
Yeah.
But it's a trio. I won't even name them for now. Just fill in the blank. Edit this in later. Patch it in.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a fantastic show. We were
Inspiring.
sitting back there just feeling like our petty riffs were
Not much of a match.
I mean, like, well,
we don't-
there's something beautiful. There's something exceptional about successful improvisation, and they achieved it in
We have very different methods,
Yeah.
I would say. We can be self-deprecating, but I know that we do spend a lot of time thinking about the songs, but at the end of the day, we're not exactly performers. So when you see people who
Yeah.
are like performers,
kind of haul ourselves on stage and play what we spent long time on. But yeah, there's something special about people who can really
You can just get up there
It's
and
like, get up there
improvise.
and do
it.
Yeah.
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 Very, very cool. Very inspiring.
Yeah. What band played with you in Chicago?
A band called Bottomed, which I think we played with them before, and a band called Immortal Bird, which I think we also played with them before at a festival somewhere. But yeah, you know, nerves were high at that show. It's our first show back, so we were just kind of like thinking about
pacing around,
thinking about our riffs.
I couldn't. My ears were closed for most of the night. I don't even know what happened really.
That's too bad.
But it was good. Well, it's what had to. And, you get into your zone. Sometimes it's hard to. We play a lot of big festivals. It's hard to actually absorb music and also keep your melodies in your own head, and
Especially
keep
when it's
your
the
head
first
on
time
straight.
in 2 years.
Yeah, it's been a while.
We can definitely, we're not immune to nervousness and
we're all pacing around in different parts of the venue, kind of kicking the wall and just, yeah, you feel kind of off center for a while. So I find it difficult to just sit down and just watch a show.
Yeah.
On those nights.
I can understand.
It'd be much
that.
easier to just go watch a show when you're
I
not
think,
playing.
Yeah.
it's what these guys here in Missouri tonight were playing, but it's also this insane venue that just kind of like
Out of nowhere, man.
out of nowhere.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just so beautiful, so compelling. It just kind of like sucks you in.
Yeah, that was insane. I mean, I've lived here all my life. I've been going to punk shows for probably like 5 or 6 years. And occasional metal show comes through here. I mean, I've been to concerts that were like in venues like this, but that was like seeing like mayhem in like a church.
Right.
Like I would not think that this would be like 5 minutes from my house and I would see like a really fucking fantastic black metal band here.
It was so cool. I mean, they everybody went above and beyond here to make us. I mean,
But it is rare that
everything.
yeah, the architecture of this place, it's this is like for radio, so there's no pictures here, but the architecture is like, it's this kind of mesh brickwork that I've never seen anywhere before, where it's like 60 feet high ceilings with this kind of like chambered effect, where there's like this core performance space and then this outer shell of a performance space, which did something to the sound that I thought was really pleasing. It just somehow contained the sound and diffused the sound without any absorptive panels. There was no deadening of the sound. It was just kind of careful reflection, and it made it seem not overbearingly loud and really beautiful and resonant.
Mm-hmm.
And made me just want to stand on stage and write music, and it made me feel very sad that in the modern world we don't have this opportunity to just live in these giant medieval spaces and write echoing pieces of music, or kind of just a place to sit and think and hear your own voice bouncing off the walls.
Yeah.
The only
It
person
just felt right.
The only person that can do that is Enya, because she lives
Right.
alone in a castle with like 16 cats.
There
Yeah,
you go.
well, she hasn't released anything in decades.
I guess you just get really psyched about your living space and you stop making music.
Yeah, maybe it sounds so good she just couldn't share it. But
Yeah.
but it just makes me think that here we are wasting our lives in these little microscopic practice spaces
Yeah.
and living rooms and tiny deadened studios. It's like, this is all wrong. It's all wrong.
Yeah.
Using fake reverb and all this stuff. It's like a place like this is where it should be written and performed.
And just hearing a drummer do the sound check, it's just like, I've never heard drum sound like that,
Well,
Again, we're
it's just
never in a space like that.
Perfect reverb. I mean, I produce music for a living, even outside of Yellow Eyes, and finding a reverb like that is very rare. It's just this kind of perfect, just short but complex.
You think it's the brick lattice work?
I think it
walls
was
that
something
kinda,
to do with it.
diffuse
It was
light?
just pure diffusion, but the ceilings were really high, and there's this geometric hexagonal pattern on the ceiling that captures it.
I wonder
and
if they
keeps
thought
it
about
controlled.
the acoustics when.
Oh,
They probably
I
did. I
think
mean,
probably,
that
if
was
it's a church.
the
Right.
primary
Right.
thought. That is what a church is for. Is acoustics, basically.
Yeah.
And for God worship.
Yeah.
Not for rock bands.
Yeah, right. I'm not sure
But it works
I'm not
for
sure
us,
this
too.
church knew that we were a black metal band. I think they were informed it was an atmospheric rock band. That's fine with me. I'll be that
It's
today.
close enough.
Yellow Eyes
Yeah.
is my favorite atmosphere.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. That's our tag.
Yeah. Do you guys have any like favorite new bands you've been listening to recently?
New bands.
Yeah, this band we just played with. They don't have a name. Yeah.
No, here's the thing. When we start, I could say me, but we, because everything I do is sort of related to Sam too. But if we're working on new music, I basically don't ever listen to anything else except for it's full immersion, obsession, and we've been working on a lot of new music.
Bye. Good night.
Bye.
Thank you.
Yeah, so if we're in like immersion mode and have been, it's weird even to think about. I mean, it's a a negative effect on life in a way because I love listening to music, but
But to put it this way, too much music can be a nightmare. I don't know if everyone feels that way. But
well, I think it's when you're working on
When-
like
when you're working on
immersed
music-
in the creative, like song creation, demoing mode. I find it does not help me to listen to anything else. It's like-
but to be more precise, it doesn't help to listen to anything else in that exact vein, which may in other
No,
times
but
be a
I don't
profound
really listen to like
inspiration.
anything else. It's a problem. It's not good. It's that
Yeah.
it would actually benefit me to take breaks, step away, see what else is out there. But recently I've been like kind of immersed for a long time, like 6 to 8 months of immersion and like riff writing, and yeah, I other things suffer in those times.
All of life suffers.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does. But
In that case, I guess like, what was the last piece of music that you bought?
what's that I bought?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Man, that's a good question.
Definitely something on Bandcamp. Yeah.
Okay.
Probably a Friends album.
Yeah, I mean, if anybody like, yeah, I mean, definitely a Friends album. But what would that have been? I mean, this is a weird time because you're catching us kind of like coming out of the pandemic when like our lives have sort of shifted. Like things were not the same during that. Like I didn't even touch a guitar for many months. I wasn't the same person. I was doing other things. I was like figuring out how to like do home repairs.
Well,
and
we
stuff like
both
that. I
moved
was
into.
like,
This is such a weird answer to that specific question.
That's okay.
But it's like we both attempted this very difficult thing of buying houses, moving out of the city. I had a kid, and I don't even have a record player set up right now. If I did, he would destroy it, and so I'm not buying records right now at all. And I am trying to show him music, but it's like this. I'm chasing him around the house and just like playing things the modern way on Spotify. It's terrible, but I'm just surviving right now.
you didn't pay Raffi for that
Yeah,
record?
right.
Come on now.
Yeah, right. Yeah, the last thing I bought was Banana Phone by Raffi.
Okay.
Just kidding.
No, yeah, I mean, yeah, just I moved into an old lady's house that needed like insane amounts of repairs. I didn't necessarily know how to do it. Pandemic hit. YouTube became my best friend. Figured it out, but like in those moments, it's like you're the silence
we're-
is like punctuated by like power tools. So I'm not listening to things. You know,
For-
it's just
Yeah.
weird. It's just the way I am. It's
there-
like I
there's
love
a-
listening to music.
yeah,
I
there-
love those moments, but I haven't.
There's a better
had it
answer to this
recently.
question that I can't quite hit on. It would need to be the beginning of the night as opposed to the end of the night. For anyone listening, like, this is the end of the night. We played the show already. The point is, like, for some reason we've been leaning on things that we have already been listening to. Maybe it's because, like, you know, you're demoing a room or painting something or doing this stuff. It's like you just put on something just to get you through. So it's a life chapter. It's not exactly a music discovery chapter for me right now. I don't know why. I'm not.
No.
And I have to ask myself some deep questions as to why that is.
Yeah.
It's not that right now. It's more like writing a ton of music and.
I mean, I'm telling you, to me, it's writing a ton of music.
It's
When you
just
write
writing a ton of music, yeah.
You can't. It's just hard to. Outside of like friends bands and stuff like that. It's
Well,
hard to, like,
there's
discover.
something that happens.
Come here, Mike. We're
Mike,
being
what's
interviewed.
the last
You're on the
what's the
radio.
last piece of music that you bought?
Oh, I bought the Mystifier Gosha reissue. I'm
Nice.
just going out.
Fuck yeah.
Mike's, of course, Mike's got a better answer than us. We're sitting here going on and on.
I bought that, and I also bought a reissue of the first Trouble record, the Christian,
Oh, fuck yeah.
the Christian doom metal.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, it's like I got Psalm 9.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Are your ears cold?
Thank you. Yeah.
A little bit.
Yeah.
That's always what I think whenever I see people wearing hats like that.
It's mostly I'm just a baldy, so it's mostly just to like make up for hair.
So the kids can hear it in the
Yeah.
background.
Sweet. Yeah, thanks again.
Of course, Mike had a good answer. Yeah,
Yep.
I just bought those. I just bought those 2 records.
we're sitting here waxing on about.
I'm trying to think of what else I
Stupid house.
what else I got.
houses. Talking about houses right now.
I'm trying to think if I got any other sick records lately. I also got like a 2 cassette like box set reissue of this band called Amon, but it's not the pre-deicide Amon. It's like an old Czech like black metal Amon.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
And they did a 2 demo, like they just did somebody just did like a reissue box set of like their 2 demos, and it's killer.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, those are the records that I got recently.
Great answer.
Print it.
That's why you're here.
Okay. I mean, I think that's pretty much everything I got, right? Hold on. I wanted to keep this really short because I hate transcribing interviews.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much everything I got. Do you guys got anything to say to other people that read this or listen to this?
Michael?
Shout out to
This is welcome to the zoo. I don't know.
Yeah.
Welcome to the morning.
Go Tigers.
Go Tigers. Yeah. Go Tigers. We saw this. It was
Keep
like,
studying.
This Missouri's crazy. Everybody's like all about the Tigers.
Yeah.
So that's what we're doing.
Okay.
We're about the Tigers right now.
When
We're
in
all
Rome.
about the Tigers right now.
There's
Go
some-
Tigers.
There's certainly something.
Go
Yeah.
Go Zoo. Go Zoo.
I
right?
would say thank you for having us in Missouri and making us feel welcome. We
Fuck yeah.
appreciate it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Is that too sweet? Cut
I
it.
think that's good.
Fuck you, Missouri.
I mean, that's what I wake up every day in Missouri and then I say, fuck you,
Fuck you,
Missouri. Yeah.
No, I'm joking.
Mike, you walked up at the perfect time.
Yeah.
Saved us on that
Saved us
question.
on that
Just
last
like,
one.
we're like, what new records have you bought? It's like,
Well, we're not
I'm
in
trying to
kind
work
of
on
like-
music right now, so I can't really like listen to music. That is true. You know?
Yeah.
Do you find that when you work on music, you don't listen to other music?
No, I just listen to different music.
To be fair, I think the reason why you are better at answering this is because you're like a profoundly different music listener than, I'll speak for myself, than I am. In a good way. I'm like you like categorize music and you actively dig for it every day. And for me, I'm more like, I just like skate through the world, like letting things hit me in the face.
Oh, the other
you know.
The other thing I recently got is I got a bootleg of a tape by a guy named Gangsta Pat. Gangsta Pat, he has his first album's called Deadly Verses, and he's like Memphis evil rap. and I got a bootleg of the first Gangsta Pat album, and it's fucking, it's evil music. It's like raw, lo-fi, evil music made by like a total like loner living up in like a hard fucking world, and it's you know, it's not metal, it's not black metal, it's not metal of death, but it's truly like evil, intense, solitary, extreme music, and I fucking love the shit out of that
That's
tape.
cool.
I listen to it while I cook.
Nice. That's cool. Nice.
We just found out Arm & Hammer has been sampling Yellow Eyes songs. We gotta go figure that out. I find that very cool. Full support. Full support. Keep doing that. Very supportive of
Can't wait
that.
to hear it.
Anyway, yeah.
What was your name, man?
My name's Nick.
Nick? Mike.
Yeah, it's nice to meet you, man.
Good to meet you, man.
Yeah.
Pleasure.
The one who arranged that amp to be on stage tonight.
Hell yeah, thank you, Nick.
You're welcome.
I appreciate that.
Coolest,
Yeah.
The coolest thing.
That made it happen. Yeah. It's nice,
Yeah.
nice to play.
That was
the
like
box.
nice and clean. You know, that could have been tricky.
Could've been
Clean.
could've been
Drop
tricky.
the amp back off
Yeah.
to its home. That guy was so cool. Everything's good.
Do you guys know the band Misery Index?
Oh yeah, I heard
Yeah.
about this guy. Some guys.
Yeah, he was here.
I saw that band when I was.
Yeah, he was here.
This show?
Yeah,
I saw
yeah.
that. I saw that band when I was in
Yeah,
high
yeah.
school with Dying Fetus. In like 2002, I saw Misery Index and Dying Fetus
Yeah.
and
Yes.
Skinless.
He came
God.
up to me in the hallway. He's like super nice. Just like, really love what you guys are doing. He's like I'm in this band Misery Index. Yeah. Know that? Cool.
Yeah, like really clean, like tech, like death grind.
Yeah, death grind. Yeah.
It's like, oh, you guys rock at your instruments. Well, we're like limping all the
Yeah,
time.
we're doing a potato sack race.
That guy's drummer straight up gravity blasting
Yes,
and like.
He's got sticks on every finger. He's just like.
Just like limping
And I'm here-
across
Yeah.
the-
Literally,
off
it's
stage slowly.
a potato sack race. We're all tied together. We're just like. Yeah. Yeah.
Yo, you
Well,
guys, do you want to go,
Yeah, let's go.
get last call at this punk show?
Yeah. Sure.
Okay.
All right.
Nick.
Cool.
Cheers.
Yeah.
Cheers. Bang.
Yeah.
Okay, it is going. Okay, we'll edit that out. We'll make it marker. All right, you just heard Yellow Eyes. You heard both them playing live. They played the song "Blue as Blue," and then you heard the interview that I conducted with them. That was from November 7th this year.
Recorded on some pretty goofy glasses.
Yeah, I recorded on fake plastic glasses with 2 microphones attached to them, running into a digital audio recorder in a fanny pack.
Straight out of Spy Kids.
Yeah. And then before that, we heard Savage.
We had, Savage, Let It Loose off of their album Loose and Lethal.
And then the one before that, so we're going backwards here, backwards order, everybody. Keep up. You heard Deep Space Sorcerer with their track Outlaw Magic, and that's off the demo Satanic Sounds of the Sorcerer. They're from the NVNM collective in, I think, Philadelphia.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure.
something like that. Somewhere out east.
Yeah. All the bands on that are great. I highly recommend them.
And before that, we had Riot City, Burn the Night. It's the title track off of their album, their debut.
Yep. Very, very good. Good band from Canada.
Love Canadian speed metal.
Yeah.
Just always great.
Chef's kiss. All right. Coming up, what do we got next?
Up next, we've got some Blood Incantation and a little bit of some early Judas Priest, just because I've got it on vinyl, and why not? It's
Exactly.
pretty fun.
Yeah.
And then maybe some Throne of Iron.
Oh, you know, we're going to be playing a song off of the new Morgul Blade album.
Yes.
Yeah. So
Survival Red at Dawn.
Yeah.
That's
The-
going to be right up next
man.
year.
Yeah, the whole album's just so great. All right, stay tuned.
Welcome. You find yourselves in the town tavern. Through the typical calm pierces an unfamiliar voice. It sings news of a nefarious power. A bard, to herald a call to all who would answer. Seek out this villainy and destroy it. To succeed is to achieve everlasting glory and riches beyond imagining. To fail is to lose everything. Will you answer the call?
Fuck it.
The track you just heard was Call to Adventure by Throne of Iron off of their 2020 release Adventure 1. And before that, we had Sinner by Judas Priest off of Sin After Sin, their second album from 1977.
Before that, there was Blood Incantation with the song Subterranean Aeon. I think I'm saying that right, Aeon. And that was off of their EP, Interdimensional Extinction. And then, in between that and the interview before then was Morgul Blade with their song The Five Will Ride at Dawn. That's off of their brand spanking new, hot off the presses album, Fell Sorcery Abounds. Really great. Coming up, you're going to hear a song from the band Battlemaster, and that will end it for today. The song that you're about to hear is called Chaotic Dwarven Mischiefism.
That rules.
All right, you just heard the band Battlemaster with their song Chaotic Dwarven Mischiefism. That's off of their album Ghastly, Graven, and Grimoireless. My name is Nick.